Talking to people in Minnesota, they feel like the Rodgers situation is all but dead, unless like it's late summer and he just happens to be available. But right now they're moving on with J.J. McCarthy. So he's got two options, the Steelers or retirement. Pittsburgh believes that based on their meetings and everything that's gone well, contract parameters, talks in their building with Rodgers, that they're well positioned and this should shake out. But it's his first foray into free agency. Anything is possible.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal. I think he's going to play for the Steelers, and I think there's been that loose assurance. I would be absolutely floored if an organization like the Steelers that has been well run or as well run as anybody in the history of the NFL is just mid-April flying by the seat of their pants when it comes to the quarterback position. And then at pick 21, they're going to cross their fingers and hope that a young player that's going to be unbelievable falls into their laps. That's not how they operate. That's not how they work. I know that they've been looking for the replacements of Big Ben since he left. They have to know that Aaron has told them, hey, I'm not ready yet, but I'm going to be ready, and I'll be your quarterback for the foreseeable future.
So I think one of the interesting things here is that at that pick at 20, they have a chance to get a quarterback, could be a really good one still there. If you know that you're getting Rodgers, have you said to Rodgers, we're not going to draft a rookie? Have you said we will?
No, I don't think you say that. I think we're past that point with Aaron.
And you just do it if you have a chance to get one.
I think you're very clear with Aaron. Like, hey, you're going to be the starting quarterback, but if this kid is there and we want him, we're going to take him. And we're going to sit him and let him learn the way you did and whatnot. But I don't think you sit there and go, Aaron, you come play and we promise you we won't take a quarterback, because you do have to plan.
Yeah, and what I was told with Pittsburgh's mentality is we know we have to invest in a quarterback in the draft at some point in the next, say, 2 years. It doesn't have to be this year.
Yeah.
Next year's quarterback class is considered stronger. The last time they dipped into what was considered a weaker quarterback class, the Kenny Pickett
But they waited for it, you know. Like, I don't think the kids that, or the young men that are going to be good pros are going to be there at pick 21.
Yeah, interesting. Would they go up?
They would, if this is a we don't know and Aaron hasn't made a decision by then, they would have no choice but to go up.
We're going to break, but you think Aaron Rodgers makes a decision before the draft?
I do.
I think you got to tell them that if you're the Steelers. You got to. We have to know. Like, we have to know 100% on paper. No.
I think we have to go to break, but it's just so interesting. Like,
there's no way you could move forward.
Breaking in 2 new coordinators this season.
Continuity is always good because, you know, every year you kind of learn what each other wants and how they work, how they function, and then you can move without saying a word. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, man. John Morton, man, stepping in an offensive coordinator, somebody I know, I trust, I've been around. I mentioned this before. He was here when we built this thing back up in 22. And then Kelvin Shepard's been here, man. So it's not like it'll be starting from scratch with somebody that I don't know. It'll be kind of fresh and new, actually, and I think we're all excited to that.
Some familiarity still there, but Dan, do you expect the Lions offense to take a step back this season?
I do, because the loss of Ben Johnson, who's their ex-offensive coordinator, now head coach of the Chicago Bears, has got to be felt. He has been one of the most creative offensive coordinators and minds in the NFL over the last 3 or 4 seasons. And the step 5, 6, 7 of the things that he does to free things up in their offense is very rare. And he's one of one when it comes to doing stuff like that. It doesn't mean that they're going to go from one of the best to one of the worst, but I don't think they're going to week in and week out shock us with some of the creative things that they do both in their...
With the best last season. In his 3 games against ranked opponents, he threw 7 touchdowns to just 1 interception. 3 of those touchdowns came against Notre Dame, who allowed the 4th fewest points per game in the FBS. In those games, he had a 74 total QBR, completed 58% of his passes. Really good stuff. And we now welcome in Tyler Shuck to join the show. So glad to have you, Tyler. Thank you for joining us. We spent a lot of time talking about you, and now we get to talk to you. Now, you've spent significant amount of time in college football. It's one of my favorite things about your game. Some may view that as an advantage. Others see it as a disadvantage. So how do you respond to those who are concerned about your age as a quarterback?
Well, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. First off, I'm really excited to be with you guys. But I think for me, it's just kind of turning it on its head, and it's been a positive. I feel like I have all the physical characteristics, but I've kind of gone through all the mental side of it to where I've had to, go through lacks of confidence. I've had to go through, being a transfer, being injured, being cut, and all these things that happen in the NFL. And, I just love football so much and kind of just stayed strong and stayed true to it. And I feel like I'm only growing and getting better. So I'm just really excited to kind of continue this process and finish up these last visits and hopefully get some good news at the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will. And I know this can all be such a whirlwind with so many things going on, the interviews, the workouts, all of that. But let's talk about one moment in particular that sticks out to me. I was in the room when you ran.
I mean, I think it's an NFL combine. You only get one opportunity to do that. And I knew that was something I had in my toolbox, was just I didn't think I was going to hit a 4.63 to say. And I just I got a little hyped up, got the crowd going. It's like,
It was real quiet before that. All right, so I've got Dan Orlovsky here with me. You're a lot faster than him, by the way. I'll just go ahead and tell you that.
Low bar.
Dan wanted you to look at some tape. So let's start with you, Dan, and tell us what you got for Tyler.
Yeah, so Tyler, Louis Riddick has talked about you a lot, and I hadn't seen a ton of your tape, so I started to watch it, and I texted him. I said, yeah, I get it. And so this is a play that stood out for me was, one, you start in the gun, you shift, then you motion, and you're underneath the center. You go hard, play action, and then there's that three-level concept of what I would call like a burner pylon and then a deep cross and a flat route. And I see on one hitch a ball get launched 40-plus yards down the field in perfect placement. And so I love that because I think it's transferable to the NFL. That's stuff, that concepts that get run in the NFL. About that play, start to finish, talk me through it.
yeah, I mean, to your point, and I think that's something that I've been trying to convey is handling the run game, handling the protections, all this stuff, shifts, motions that you're going to be asked to do. But, we're reducing to weak slot right, X-mo, bolt 39 right, Z-bomb, X-over. So, we're reducing, we're trying to discourage pressure, get them in a base look. We're going to have bolt 39 right, so you're faking outside zone with two agents backside. Your Z-bomb is your pylon or big home run post to the opposite pylon. And then you got your deep over, deep cross. So trying to make the fake, get the opposite B gap. You're finding that middle safety and going off of him.
Okay, so first of all, I could do this for 7 hours. Is this something that was somewhat new to you this year, this type of getting under center, handling all that stuff, the play fake, the feet and how much it's attached to it? Is that new for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in the past you're taking, you got your air raid, deep choice game, and you're taking three-step drops and hoping the receiver gets open. And, now I'm being tasked with handling protections, handling the run game, taking 7-step drops, moving the pocket. And, I wasn't great at it at first, but I got a lot of it under my belt and I feel super comfortable with it. And I think it's become a strength. That's something I've worked on throughout this whole process.
That 90 seconds makes me immediately think of the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, okay. We like it. Now, listen, the only person, Tyler, who smiles will be bigger than what Dan's just was as you were breaking down that tape is Louis Riddick, who is the president of your fan club. Louis, the floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead.
Tyler, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Louis. I don't know why they give you so much crap, man. You just watched some ball. You just watched tape this year. It's crazy.
Hey, exactly. Look, man, I watched some tape. We did your games. I talked to Jeff and Brian down there at Louisville. I think that's where I want to go. Like, your development under Jeff and Brian Brom. Like, just speak about how they have helped you with some of the things maybe you weren't exposed to in the air raid when you were at Tech, and how that has kind of taken your game.